Very nice, very nice. How about you, Bruna? Could you please present yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Bruna. I'm from Rio de Janeiro and I'm a person driven by curiosity. As a matter of fact, I'm a research, I'm a chemistry. So I spend a lot of time in room experiments or reading articles. And in this way, I start to reading books too. So I've been reading some books in English to practice vocabulary or just enjoy this moment with myself. I like a lot read books and other contents in English too, like YouTube and podcasts and mix of both. And I'm a nature lover. I love spend time in nature, go for a stroll, unwind. I did just this this afternoon. So I go for a stroll to enjoy the moment. And what else? I enjoy Talk and Talk since I think December 2024, and I like this platform to exchange ideas with you guys and um, what else? Improving my speaking skills, of course, but also learn from you too in these immersions. We share a lot of experiences, insights, so you can apply this in your life. So it's a great experience.
Amazing, Bruna, amazing. I was so excited when you said that you were a researcher because I'm a researcher as well. So I'm gonna take this part to present myself. So as you can see right here, my name is Anna. I am a physiotherapist. I consider myself as a researcher because I've done my master and my PhD searching the impact of behavior change in exercise plus education in patients with diabetes or any other kind of cardiovascular disease. I'm not a like practical researcher like labs and chemical things, but another kind of researcher, but a researcher as well. And now I am a professor in the University of Vassouras. It's a small city in the countryside of Rio de Janeiro, but I am currently looking for another positions in the industry field, like medical affair, clinical trial coordinator, and other positions. I'm here in this platform since 2020, so long, 5 years. Actually, this month I think I'm celebrating 5 years here, so really nice. And by the way, long time I did not host immersion, maybe more than a year. But today I saw that I could not run this, so that's the reason I'm here. So nice to meet you all. And last but not least, João, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is João Gabriel. I'm 27 years old. I live in Brasilia, and I joined the winter immersion course.
Oh,
I'm
super nice.
a software engineer. I like playing the guitar, writing poems. Hum, eu ainda sou iniciante, então acho que
No
isso é tudo.
worries. You don't need to excuse or you don't need to explain anything, but it's good to listen that you were a beginner because now I know a little bit more about you. And if you do not understand something, you can always raise your hand or open your camera or ask, and I can try to explain this in another word. What I mean in Portuguese is. Foi bom, João Gabriel, você falar isso. E agora eu vou falar um pouquinho em português, porque vai aqui, né? Você sinalizou pra gente que você é iniciante, então isso é importante, porque se você não entender alguma coisa, você pode me perguntar, e eu vou sempre fazer a primeira explicação em inglês, mas caso você precise de mais alguma ajuda, a gente está aqui para aprender junto. So it's not exactly this that I mentioned it in English, but when you translate and you are fluent in both languages, you try to put some spicy and improve when you are translating. Now we have, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Jeziel. Is that correct?
It
Yes,
is.
I think so.
Yes, it is.
Jesiel, welcome here. We are in an introduction part, so we are introducing ourselves. I already listened about Rogério. I've already presented myself, me, Bruna, and João. So now it's your turn. Could you please present yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Giselle. I live in Picos, Piauí. Um, I work as a software engineer and as a teacher, and I want to improve my English for my work.
So what do you teach?
I teach computer science,
Oh, nice.
software engineer, web development, and
Super good, super good. And for how long are you in this platform?
I started last week.
Last week in the winter
Yeah,
course, intensivo de
yeah,
inverno? Oh, super
yes, there is.
nice. So more someone for the winter course. I like this
Yeah.
name, winter course. So congrats for your presentation. Guys, now I'm gonna paste here in our chat the questions. But I had a problem with the questions because I don't know why the questions are duplicated. So the question number one is the same for the question number two. So we are gonna talk and then you are gonna have the questions, but remember that the questions are duplicated. So oops. Okay, I cannot have this. Oh, give me a second and I'm gonna solve this for us. Almost there. Oops. Yeah, here we are. So today we are going to talk about creating expectations and yeah, let's discuss about it. Why it's important to set clear expectations in a group or team environment. I would like to invite Bruna to start discussing about this question.
For me, it's just imagine the situation in the workplace. You are in the follow-up meeting with a client, and you present him some projects, some ideas. You draw some projects, and this client start to make some assumptions, infer something from your presentation, and he's not very his communication is not very straightforward. Sometimes he just don't ask the direct questions, and you infer that your client understand, got it, all your points, and turn out to be in the, for example, in 2 weeks, something like that, your clients expect too much of your deliverable. He set the high stakes, high expectations related to this, and your deliverable is good, but not exactly what he thought about. So here we have this sense of let this your client down. Not only that, but maybe the first impression counts in your deliverables, in your project, in your presentation. So it's the first time these clients talk to you, for example, they might maybe feel that you don't understand, you don't get their point, or maybe they feel some unease in related to the project, how you're gonna conduct this project. So I would say with my colleagues that the most obvious thing has to be said. So if you assume that something is too obvious, it's too easy, you don't need to say that, because the client will understand, or not the client, your colleagues will understand, and you don't need to say it again. And probably it'll happen something, you don't have something wrong related to this, because you assume the other person understand 100%. And is there is no clarity in your communication, or you assume that it's clarity enough and you don't need to explain more. So in this kind is, for example, to get my point, but in these scenarios, always important to understand that you need to be clear at all times. You need to come across with your communication at all times. If it's so easy for you, it's not necessarily easy for the other, and not necessary if you are if you think your communication is understandable, is clear enough, sometimes it's not. So important to ask questions for the person. You understand my point? You want to
Yeah.
ask some questions? Do I need to break down some concepts for you? Or even give the opportunity for the other people repeat what you say for certify that this other person understand your point. I don't know
Yes,
if I make sense of what I said, but I try to
completely.
illustrate with example what is important to me, or important in general, these set expectations.
Yeah, completely. I think more than just try to be clear in your communication, it's about to set your expectations. So sometimes we came to this immersion with some expectations, like we want to answer all the questions, and that expectation will be frustrated because it's not the objective of this immersion. So in here, our objective is to have a conversation, to exchange ideas, and we don't even need to follow the questions. We need to follow an idea and having opportunity to have this exchange. So yeah, I just want to mention this because João and Giselle are starting in this platform, and I don't know if someone mentioned this, but we have a lot of questions, but it's just to bring some ideas. We don't need to follow all them. So, Rogério, how about you? What do you have any experience? Do you want to share with us about this kind of set clear expectations about something, maybe in a relationship or in a job meeting or something related with that?
Yes, I know it is important to be clear in our communication, but to create expectation, I think it's I'm not a I think I don't have some I have this word some powerful word, because we are human beings. We can commit mistakes, we can fail. I know I am a guy with faith. I am considered a good person with good faith, but expectation. I'm not a pessimist person, but I think we can failure. We can
Yeah,
commit some failures. But yeah, for example, example, uh, not today. On Tuesday is my day to work at home. Okay, so at sometimes I need to set a meeting with my team. I talk to them, and they don't understand me in that meeting. So I agree with this point. If I'm not so clear, I schedule to them a new meeting just to clarify this question, this issue. But I saw how it's important to talk face to face to
yeah.
them understand better. Okay, because sometimes you need to draw, as I think it's the other guy said, to draw to understand
Yes.
better.
Today I was reading a post on LinkedIn, and the person says, the guy was describing that he worked in a call center. And as you don't have like face to face, or you don't have the camera on, you just listen the voice. He tried to capture the image for the person just based on their voices. So if they repeat the same word, it means that they want to emphasize. So if they like struggle, or if they are really thinking, or a pause in a phrase, it means that the client is like up to do not sign the contract or things like this. And I think it's the same when we are running a meeting and like our team cannot understand us, then we need to put more effort. And yeah, it's really, really difficult when we are not face to face, or when you are in a meeting with camera off, or when you are just using your cell phone or just listening the voice of the person. So you don't have like the same sensations. So it's really difficult. João, do you have any experience to share with us? Why it's so important to set clear expectations in a group or in a relationship?
I believe that clear expectation ensure that everyone knows their responsibilities, yes,
Yeah,
and goals, which helps avoid confusion and improves teamwork.
yeah, very good, very good. Not just in a like job meeting, or not just in your work place, but also in a relationship. An example, when I am with my boyfriend and he knows that I am mad with something, he says, "Hey, let's just make clear our expectations. What are your thoughts for today night?" So I explain what are my expectations, and he says if he can accomplish my expectations or no, if he has a different idea about our night or things like this. So for me, expectations are important in any area of our lives. How about you, Giselle? Why it's important to set these expectations?
So I believe that set clear expectations in a group or team is so really important to align the team's goals and keep everyone in the same path. I think you don't have clear expectation is so difficult in to work together as the same goal in relationship too. If we don't have the same expectation, the same goals, is complicated to keep a good relationship.
Yeah, I completely understand. And do you have an idea, now going to the question number 3, do you have any idea what are some potential consequences when you have too low or too high expectations about something?
Yes, it's a difficult situation. I think when you have high expectation in relation to one project or one relationship, and can't uh, you can't target that this is expectation uh, is a bad situation. I think is so difficult to continue in relationship or in the project, and uh, unless you make a alignment
Yeah.
to continue in next steps.
Yes, yes. It's better to align the expectations earlier possible
Yeah.
than to wait the consequences come, and yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, yeah. Bruna, what are some potential consequences or setting expectations that are too high or too low? Do you have any example about this?
Too low, for example, I imagine that feel like pointless, like not challenged enough. You don't feel motivated enough to pursue something because too low, it's like easy to get this opportunity to accomplish this, but if it feels too high, it's unattainable. It's like you need to pursue over and over again, and you feel that you don't, in the end, you don't accomplish this, and maybe you let yourself down or let the others down that feel even worse. Like my previous example about the client, to try to picture this in my own mind, because it's a situation that I saw sometimes in the workplace. Not only the workplace, like you said, you can stand this for other relationships too, but I really picture this situation, when you try to establish so high scenarios and don't achieve this sometimes, because for example, in the research, in the theory it's different from the practice, and the results get wrong, or we get another types of results, and sometimes it's not just you plan it, and the ability to deal with this is to be adaptable. Maybe see if this expectation is too high or is too low, and you align with your teammates, like you guys said, or in your relationship, maybe it's time to review this. Maybe come clear with someone, just like you said with your boyfriend. What's the expectation for this? Maybe try to understand the other points of view, putting other someone's shoes. Like, okay, I have this expectation in my relationship. I have this expectation for tonight. But what are your point of view on this? I need to understand to realign, or to realign my expectation, realign what I'm expecting from you, or expect from this situation. And I
And
think
for you,
it
Bruna, what's easier to adapt when you have too high expectations or too low expectations?
more easy. Let me
Yeah.
see. I both seems too difficult for me, but maybe too low. I don't know. It's if it's too high to adapt this. Too high, I would say you put more effort, or you try to convince your team, other person, to reduce reduce these limit. Like it's too high. I need, for example, we need to deliver something in 2 weeks. Feels too high for us as a team, because it's a lot of workflow. So maybe if you put 1 month, try
Yeah.
to try to convince the client, something like that, to propose something. I
Yeah.
think this is related to high scenarios. Propose something, and low, maybe we need to push forward. Maybe we need to reward the team, or get the team more motivated somehow.
Yeah, for me, both are really difficult, but
Yeah.
they demand different strategies. So, yeah. And for you, Rogério, what do you think is harder to adapt when you are uh, discussing with someone that has too high expectations or too low expectations?
Uh, I think it's difficult to answer this question because we have many people think in different ways, you know. So I think it's mandatory in my case. For example, I always say for my team, we need to tell the truth all the time, not to commit lies, because uh, it's it's it it avoids mistakes, wrong, good expectation, and the real situation is totally different. I mean, I think, yes, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think when you are discussing with someone that has too low expectations, you need to have one kind of approach, like maybe I need more attention on this project, or maybe I was having not bigger but different thoughts about today's night, and
To be realistic, it's very important
yeah.
nowadays. Yes.
But I feel that is a sensitive thing when you need to adjust this. When you are in an example, in a workplace or in a work environment, um, you have like a professional way to treat others. But when we are saying that we need to align expectations with someone that you love, I cannot say that it's more difficult, but I think it's more sensitive
Yes.
because you need to be careful with the words that you are going to use, because when someone has high expectations than you, an example, you are taking your wife to
Yes.
go in a restaurant and you were just planning a simple restaurant, but when she came she's completely dressed on and
I
makeup and hair and
understand.
everything, and it
Understand.
does not match with the pasta restaurant that you were thinking, and oh my God, what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do?
I
And
have,
the
I
person
have,
is the
yeah,
same.
I agree. I have a tip, another tip. You can't promise that you don't have, you know.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's
Yes.
hard. How about you, João? What do you think is harder to align when someone has too high expectations or too low?
I'm sorry. Meu microfone estava desligado.
No worries.
Very high expectation when not followed by direct action and up generation frustration. Frustration. Yes.
Yeah, frustration. Yeah.
Uh, Low expectations leave a taste of wanting more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both are hard, and it's a sensitive topics about expectations. Yeah. Yeah. And how do cultural, personal, or professional backgrounds influence the expectations we create? Giselle, do you think there is a lot of differences between different culture, different personal backgrounds or professional backgrounds, and how does it influence the expectations we create?
Oh, I think it depends the context. For um, life expectations, I think cultural and personal uh, influence them. For a professional context, it depends on their experience, the past projects you have worked in a. I think it's for a life. It's a personal. I think each person have your own expectations in your life. Yeah, I think that a person is more that have my more high expectation. Other people is more low profile. Yeah, but I think there's it. I think that's depends on the context, your cultural background, or personal or professional background influence them.
Yeah, yeah. And in a personal way, do you consider, Giselle, you a person that creates a lot of expectations, or are you with a person with your feet on the ground? Like in Portuguese, we have this
Yeah,
expression, I don't know this in English.
yeah. I think I maintain my feet in the ground. I think I am a realistic person.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. How about you, João? Are you a person that creates a lot of expectations, or are you a more realistic person?
Eu não entendi.
Se você, I was about to explain Portuguese, but let's try in English first. If you are a person, if you are someone that create a lot of expectations, or are you a more realistic? Someone that has your feet on the ground, mais pé no chão.
Mm,
Did you get
um,
it? Or do you need more explanations? If you need, no worries. Deu para pegar?
mhm.
Ah, ok.
It depends on the context, but I like to dream big.
Do you like what?
Sorry?
Do you like what? To dream big? Was
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, it's exactly like me. But more than dream big, I consider that I create a lot of expectations because, an example, I am applying for a position in a company. Before
Mhm.
send my CV, I am imagining myself in the company, doing the work and being selected and working 5 years in the same company. Before even sending my CV, I have all these expectations in my mind. So, but in the same way, I consider that I have my feet on the ground because I think it's a mix. It depends on the life basis, and sometimes I'm more uh, positive, and sometimes I'm more negative about the expectations I'm creating. So it's a mix. How about you, Bruna? Do you consider you are a person that creates a lot of expectations or more realistic?
I'd say depends of the situation. Like, for example, professional situation depends if I had for example, I had the skills, like you said, for this job. I can imagine myself. It depends of the company. I really can imagine myself because my values align with the values of this company. Maybe I have the skills they need, and I can learn from they too. So it's not too distant from my reality. Maybe my graduation I can grab this opportunity. So I try to strike a balance in this. Sometimes I just don't think too big in some situations or have an expectations in related to the others. I learned this along the time. No, put my expectation in others and try to, if I wanted to put some expectation, put it in myself, not on the others, because we
Yeah.
are humans. We tend to let it down each other, or maybe sometimes don't understand each other. So it's important to be realistic in this way, be empathetic, but be realistic with people, be patient, bear with people too. And I'd say I like you guys. I'm in my more foot on the ground. I tend to be more in this way. I don't know. I think it's the best approach for me related to the relationship. To maybe I just need to dream more in relationship. I don't know. And in the future, who knows? But in my professional life, I just be more realistic.
Yes, yes, I completely understand. And it's not easy because sometimes I try to be more feet on the ground because I do not expect a lot. And when you don't have expectations, anything that comes, it comes as a bonus. So some people say do not create any expectations on mail because they will always disappoint you. So if you do not create expectations, anything that comes is a plus. But I think it's so hard to do this, and then I cannot be like that. Yeah.
Maybe deeper, we all have some kind of expectations. I don't know if you are
Yes.
0% of
Yeah.
expectation related to something. For example,
Yes.
you deliver a food, you have some expectation that feels good, that tastes good. Always have a kind of expectation. We try to limit this to not get frustrated.
Yeah, yeah. And Rogério, what's the difference between healthy expectations and controlling behavior? Because some people say, no, I'm just showing my expectations, I'm just lying. But this person means that this one wants to control everything that is happening. So for you, what's the difference?
Let me see, control behavior. I think, yeah, control the behavior, I think it's more easy to handle than health expectation, because I think we have a visibility, from this whatever situation. Yes, to be in control, I think I like it. It's
Do you think it's easier to deal with someone that is trying to control your behavior? Because an example, we have like the healthy expectations. Bruna shared an example. If you make some food, you have an expectation that it tastes good or the other one it's gonna like. But when you are a person that's trying to control behavior, this person has more expectations about what you are gonna say about the food, what's gonna be your reaction, and if you do not have the expected reaction, this one is gonna complain. And this person is my mom, of course. She always do this. She always do this.
yes, I think I don't understand this question very well. If someone control my behavior, am I right?
Yes, if this one, an example, no, Rogério, I just want to align my expectations with yours. But I mean that I want you to have exactly the behavior I want. So I want to control your behavior.
Okay, understand better. No,
To
no, no.
hide this, I will say, no, I'm just trying to align your expectations.
Yes, yes. I think sometimes you could have the same opinion, but I do not like to someone if I disagree with this position or someone. Oh no, you need to. How you control your behavior? No, no, no. I think not.
Yeah,
Have expectation. I think it's better.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's okay, it's good. Jesiel, do you have an example to share with us about this difference between healthy expectations and controlling behavior?
Oh, it's so difficult. I think that a health expectation is align with everyone in the group or in relationship, is flexible when have open and clear communication. In controlling behavior is about when one person controlling the all situations that involve expectation. Yeah, it's one person that's defined in your own, let me say, own, I don't know how can say, na sua própria cabeça.
Yes, in your own head. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
one head.
mind. Yes, yes.
Create expectations for our group, unless without that opportunity to others talk about or changing, or it's it.
Yeah, yeah, I completely understand. And for me, the basic difference is when someone wants to control and this one wants to hide this instant, meaning that this one wants just to align the expectations, and it's not that. Yeah. As our time is almost over, and let's jump to the question number 11. In what ways can unclear expectation lead to conflict or failure? What do you think, Bruna?
Let me see. Always. When you don't, it's like you said before, when you don't clarify things, you leave the room for the other person think whatever they want and set the bar much higher, much lower, or imagine different things that you try to come across in your conversation. So uh, I always say we like a team, like in the workplace, we always said that we need to try come clear all the time to let's get things straight in our communication. Like I said before, if these things is so obvious to you, maybe it's not obvious for me. It's too easy
Yeah.
to, not necessarily easy to me because um, I'm trying to evaluate, assess your knowledge, your background based on my own experiences, and this is the problem, is the there's something that we need to deal with. It's drawback here. So I need to, even when I criticize someone or get this, in Portuguese we say this, I don't know, it's positive criticism, something more constructive, more can benefit you, can help you grow. Even in these situations, I need to understand the others people perspective. I need to understand why they try to criticize, what they want me to do, what they want me to improve, and understand the points of view the other person, so I can understand their expectations related to me.
Yeah.
And even if I don't understand this, I try to evaluate if these expectations make sense, because I'm not allowed to meet the expectations of everyone. Maybe I feel frustrated with myself if I do something like that. Maybe I lost my identity if I do something like that. So we acknowledge the expectations of the others, but we need to assess if it makes sense to you, makes sense for us in that situation.
Yeah, in the way that you share it, Bruna, I think when you were discussing about work environment, it's easier to be really strict on the point, really clear. You don't need to go around before say something. When you are in a work environment, you can go just straight on the point, because what it's clear for me is not clear for others. But in terms of relationship with your family, friends, or partner, um, do you feel it's easier in the same way to go straight on the point and be directly and clarify what are the expectations, or do you think it's different?
A completely different game, because like you said, you don't have feelings involved in this, because I can uh, give a word with you related to some situation in the workplace, and I don't put my feelings in this, and it's okay. You go do your work, I go do mine, and it's okay for both of us. But when
Yeah.
you have this bond between two people, if you a parent or boyfriend, or even our most best friends, it seems to it's blurred. These boundaries are so blurred, because I need to be clear with you. I need to be honest, but in the same time, I don't hurt your feelings. So what's your expectation? I can if I put my expectations, can I hurt you or not? I would say it's more challenge in the personal relationships related to the professional ones.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Jeziel, what do you think it's harder to to set expectations in a work environment or with your family, colleagues, partner?
I think in work environments is more difficult
Do you think?
because yeah, in my family, I live with my wife and two daughters, two babes. It's not. I think it's not difficult. Yeah, but in work is more difficult. I work with many people, yeah, people from different culture, different regions in Brazil, and people from another country. And it's more difficult because we have different backgrounds, different cultures, in someone different, someone different language. Yes, I work in a project with people from South America in USA. Yeah. The most people speaking Spanish. Yeah. I speak Portuguese, and some two or three speaks English.
Oh my, yeah.
In this context, I think it's more difficult to align as expectations, align the project goals. So,
Yeah. I was thinking, and for me, it's easier when I need to clarify others' expectations. An example, when my supervisor asks me to do something, I always like to repeat and be assured that I got what she wants and to align the expectations. But when I am asking something for her, and I most of the times I don't know how to be really strict on the point and be clear about my expectations because it's difficult to express, and I have like I'm not sure about what she's gonna think about it, and yeah, it's not easy. And how about you, João? This is a question that's not here in the chat. The question is, what is more difficult for you? To align the expectations with your family, friends, and partner, or with people from your job and your work?
Você pode traduzir? Eu não entendi muito bem,
Yes, yes. I
por
ask
favor.
what is easier, what is not so difficult to align the expectations with people from your job or from your family. Now it's okay or not yet?
No caso, você tá perguntando se minha expectativa é maior com minha família? Não, não entendi,
Não.
então.
Eu perguntei o que é mais difícil para você? What's harder for you? Alinhar as expectativas com as pessoas do seu trabalho ou com as pessoas da sua família?
Vou tentar responder em inglês.
You can mix part in English and part Portuguese, no worries.
Okay. With the peoples in my work. Yes?
Yeah,
Ok.
yeah.
Eu queria dizer que com a minha família é mais fácil.
Yeah, so with your family is easy. Yeah. The same of Gesiel. Gesiel said that with his family is easier as well. So, guys, as our time is over, I would like to thank you all for coming, especially João and Gesiel that accept the challenge of winter course. Então, um especial para o João e para o Gesiel que aceitaram o desafio do intensivo de inverno. I hope that you go until the end. Eu espero que vocês vão até o final. And Rogério and Bruna, was a pleasure to talk to you all. Bruna, thank you for the invitation on the LinkedIn. I've already accepted. Hope to see here around more time, more often. Okay, thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye.